Hello, everybody. My name is Lauren Bass. I am the owner of Bass Consulting, and today we will be talking about salary negotiations as a new graduate when you receive your first or just a new job offer. So I came up with this topic because I have done several salary negotiations in my career, and I'm going to share some experiences throughout the presentation of my ups and my downs. But the first thing to know about negotiating your salary is confidence is key. It takes confidence to decide that you're going to negotiate, and then it takes even more confidence to actually ask for what you want. So it really is a mental conversation that you're having with yourself. It might be a conversation that you're having with a mentor or peers, but confidence is key. You have to know what you feel like you're worth, and you have to be willing to ask. So I also just kind of threw in the definition of confidence right here. It's about self-assurance. So once you know, listen, I have the skills, I have the experience, they made me an offer, they want me. Now let's see what I can do so that it's a mutually beneficial relationship. I think when it comes to a job offer, everybody doesn't think about it as this is a mutual beneficial relationship. It's almost as if receiving a job offer is a gift. Oh my God, I just need to be appreciative that I have a job. No, you went to school, you gained these experiences, you gained these skill sets. So, as much as the job wants to benefit from your skill sets, how are you benefiting from that company, that employer? So I came up with the acronym DEAL, D-E-A-L. D, don't take the first offer. E, estimated cost of living in the area. A, average salary for the role. L, lowest salary that you're willing to take. I use this method when I negotiated, when I took a position in upstate New York. They were offering me about 42,000. At the time, I was making 35,000. So 42, of course, was better than what I was making, but I knew I was relocating, and I was like, I want to make sure I'm getting the most bang for my buck. I had several years of experience, and I just wanted to feel comfortable with what I was going to be making. Also, at that time, President Obama was trying to help exempt employees have a minimum salary of $47,000. So, keeping up with what was going on in the news, that 42 was cute, but I knew that I should have an opportunity to make 47. So, I used this method to do my research and truly understand how I wanted to ask for what I was looking for. Evaluating the initial offer. You may be a new graduate, or you may have like a few years of experience, and now you're like, okay, I've done the whole interview process, they offer me the job. Is it what I want? Could they do more? So it's best to kind of pay attention to, do you already have any previous experience? Did you have a part-time job related to what you're doing? Did you do any internships? Did you have any lab work? Based on the industry that you're going in, you need to have a clear understanding of what are the skills and experience that you bring and what you're bringing value to that company. And that's a part of that level of confidence, understanding that I have done this for X amount of years, I've done this for this many semesters, I know what I'm doing. And so, evaluate that and feel comfortable with, these are the experiences that I'm bringing, and this is why they see me as a valuable fit for their organization. They give this offer, you have to understand, is this a livable wage? When I was working at an institution in Georgia, I did not have a livable wage. I pretty much needed two jobs. And it was a struggle because I'm going to work every day. I'm a full-time employee, and I was barely making ends meet. And that is a horrible feeling, to know that you're going to work every single day and you need a part-time job or you need a side hustle. It's not optional. So it's very important to understand if what they're offering you is a livable wage. Coming out of my graduate program in 2013, my first job offer that I actually accepted, I did not want to accept this, But I received a little pressure from my family to just get a job, $25,000 with a master's degree. Their explanation is, oh, it's a live on job. $25,000 with a master's degree. I felt like it was an insult, but I took it. And I really did regret it. And I did put myself in a better position a few months later. But what's a livable wage? $25,000 was not a livable wage, especially understanding I was going to have to start paying back those student loans. I had a car note. I may not have to pay rent right now, but I did have other bills. I had car insurance. I needed to be able to provide groceries for myself. So you got to think about that in terms of when someone is offering you a salary, are you going to need to have an additional job or a side hustle? Or is what they're offering you comparable to what's going to make you comfortable to provide for yourself and your family? There are rare occasions where an initial offer actually meets or exceeds your expectations. Like some jobs do a great job of giving a competitive salary. But what you also need to understand is negotiation is about the whole compensation package. It's not just the salary number. So when you're thinking about the full compensation, if you're in a job where you're going to be on call, are they providing you a cell phone or are they expecting you to use your own cell phone? If you're going to have times where you have to work remote, are they providing you a laptop or an iPad? What does PTO or annual leave look like? Some companies you accrue it maybe every pay period. Some companies, based on the industry you're in, they have a certain amount of time per year. So you want to know, what does that look like? I know when I took a job, I already had a vacation planned out. And so in the negotiation part of my interview phase, I let them know I already have a vacation plan. It's paid for, the dates are set. Is this going to work with you? Because there's nothing worse than having something pre-planned. You don't discuss it in advance, and then you don't have enough PTO or annual leave to actually go on your trip. So you want to make sure you bring up information like that during that negotiation phase so that they're ready and you're ready, because that comes with considering your compensation package. Many times you may not have enough annual leave starting off in a job, in the first 3 to 4 months. But if something's already pre-planned, a company can work with you. So again, when it comes to evaluating your offer, you need to pay attention to the entire compensation package. Understanding your cost of living. So there are times where you may choose to take a position where you're relocating, or there are times you may say, I'm just going to stay where I am. I'm comfortable where I am. I've built this life. There's some good jobs in this area. So you have to look at the cost of living in two different circumstances. If you're going to relocate, are they offering you relocation assistance or reimbursement? I have a tendency to move across the country. So I moved from Georgia to New York. I moved to Alabama. I moved to Tennessee. And it is important that if you can't help provide housing for me when I get there, that I get some type of relocation assistance, because that's expensive to move. And that is something that a company can offer you if you ask. Not many people are just going to volunteer that information, but if you ask, that's something that many organizations and companies can provide. Also with temporary housing, some can provide you temporary housing, some can assist you with finding temporary housing. So that's something to be mindful of, or if you have to pay for your temporary housing before you're able to find like a real apartment. What does that look like financially? Understanding the average cost of rent in the new area, that's very important. When I moved to New York, everybody just automatically assumed I was going to be paying New York City rates, but I wasn't in New York City. So the cost of living wasn't as expensive as many people expected. And it was just comfortable for what I knew that I could pay, and what I would be receiving in terms of square footage and comfort with what I would be paying rent for. So you have to be mindful of like, what's the average cost of living? What's that average rent looking like in that new location? That's going to help you determine what your salary should be. Also, commute to work. If you're going to have to commute 45 minutes or an hour one way, understanding that that's a lot of gas, that's a lot of miles on your car. Or will you be taking public transportation? If you're going to a large city and they have public transportation, you may be able to negotiate a train pass or a bus pass. So keeping in mind all of these things if you're relocating is very important because it can truly help your quality of life when you're starting a new job. If you're staying local, you do want to make sure that that salary is comfortable for being able to provide for you and or your family, that one salary. It doesn't matter if you choose to get another job or if you choose to have a side hustle, but can your one job truly provide for you? And if not, that's how you know, oh, we need to ask for more. This is cute, but I need a little bit more. And then also asking if they offer an annual cost of living raise. As we know, the price of milk goes up every year. The price of gas goes up every week, it looks like. Um, it's just so many things that influx. If you're renting, your rent increases every year. So it doesn't make sense to stay at the same exact salary, but everything around you is increasing. So if you're staying local, it is good to ask, are there things such as merit raises and cost of living raises? Because it's going to be very hard to be stuck at the same salary for 5 years when everything that you have to buy in order to have a quality life has gone up over those 5 years. You also need to be doing market research. So a few examples using Glassdoor, using PayScale, another website, thebalancedcareers.com is good. Um, as you do your research in terms of like, this is, say you're on the website, you type in the title of the job, like the job title, and then the city. Many websites can let you know the average salary for that type of job in that city. Some websites can let you know the average salary for that type of job in the nation. Those are benchmark numbers to be mindful of in terms of, are you receiving a competitive salary? Are they lowballing you, or are you above the average salary? And it's like, okay, this is comfortable. I like this. So you want to make sure you use external resources like these, and there are others, Indeed, Simply Hired, to truly evaluate where they are providing, like where are they on that offer ladder in terms of within that state, within that local area, and across the nation competitively. A few things that you want to discover while you're doing your market research is, what's your worth, what salary you should be looking for, which companies are hiring candidates with your skill experiences, and then the pool of candidates available for that job offer. You want to be mindful of, if a city is very big in tech, then there may be an influx of people, looking for tech jobs, and that's going to help determine what's that average salary people are receiving in that area. So market research is extraordinarily important. When it comes to getting a job offer, I always say, do not accept immediately. Ask, can I take a few days to get back with you? There's nothing wrong with asking to take a few days, because now that you know the number they're going to offer you, now you are able to do this research. You can do your research in advance and be ahead of the game, but once you have that number and it's solid of what they're saying, you can do this research and say, this is good or this is not good, or I'm going to ask for $3,000 more. I'm going to ask for $5,000 more. What is your walkaway number? Lowest number that you are willing to accept. Again, I took $25,000 with a master's degree. I was embarrassed. I felt bad for myself. Like, how did you put yourself in this position? Why didn't you wait? I had done 17 interviews at a conference, and I was very certain that someone was going to offer me a position from that conference. But I allowed external forces to kind of persuade me to take this offer. And each day I went into the office, I was unhappy because all I could think of is, I'm only getting paid $25,000 to do this job. So you need to have a clear understanding of what's your walkaway number. Based on the research that you do, it's important to say, if the average salary is this, I may have 1 year of experience, I may have 3 years of experience. So I should be looking for this. And I understand that this particular salary is going to help me pay all of my bills, be able to eat. Because sometimes we all think about the bill and then we're like, okay, all my bills are paid. Now I have no groceries. Or now I don't have enough money to even have a social life if I wanted to have a social life. Or I'm struggling just to keep gas in my car. What is your lowest walkaway number? And be comfortable saying, no, thank you. If they cannot meet you where it's going to make you happy, it's okay to walk away and keep searching. What is important is if a job, say a job description doesn't list the salary on the description, when they make you that initial offer, always ask, is this number firm? Some places the number that is offered is firm and you don't have opportunity to negotiate the salary, but that's where you begin to negotiate the other items in the compensation package. But if the number is not firm, that's when you take advantage to negotiate the salary and also review those compensations as well. Another great opportunity for a compensation negotiation is tuition assistance. If you have goals to go back to school, does that company or organization support employees with going back to school for another degree? So again, compensation can include so much. Don't just be stuck on a number, but the number is important because if you're going to be struggling and unable to pay your bills, you're going to be unhappy. And you should not feel comfortable accepting a job that you know you're going to be unhappy because you're barely going to make ends meet. You're going to be forced to get another job or pick up a side hustle, and it's just really not going to suit the quality of life that you want to provide yourself. So always remember to make a deal. D, don't take the first offer. E, understanding the estimated cost of living in that area, whether you are relocating or you're staying local. A, the average salary for the role, again, going back to that market research. And then L, the lowest salary that you're willing to take. I do have a survey. I would greatly appreciate it if you could do the survey for me. Let me know how this information is and how my presentation is. And then you can also contact me. I have a website. I do have my book. So I wrote a book about minority negotiations. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble. I have a digital copy on my Etsy shop page. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm always putting out a lot of information about negotiating. I'm always reposting other people who are discussing negotiations. It's something that not a lot of people take advantage of. And although there are many books out there about negotiations, I do feel like there are some areas in which are skipped. So I feel like I kind of filled a void by discussing things based on my personal experiences and the gaps that I found when it came time for me to begin negotiation.
Yes. Yes, that is excellent. I know when I talk about salary